that we would follow in other.
Welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, and all my stakeholders, those who are participating in this regional thematic workshop to the first technical session on research, technological, farm mechanization interventions in crop diversification. This technical session will be discussing the agenda and for kind information of participants, our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Odisha University of Agriculture and Technology, Dr. Pawan Kumar Agarwalji would be chairing this technical session one. And amongst the panelists, we have Dr. Simanchal Sahu, Dean of Research, OUVT Bhubaneswar, Odisha. We have Dr. D. Pramila, Director Atma, Guntur, Andhra Pradesh. Engineer Jaiprakash Narayan, Joint Director Agriculture Engineering from State Nodal Officer Mechanization from Bihar. We do also have Dr. Rajesh Kumar Naik, Associate Professor IGKV Chhattisgarh, Raipur. Sri Mukesh Kumar Sinha from DDA from Jharkhand. We'll also have a representative of West Bengal. And at the end of the session, we'll have small time for open discussion. And now, with kind permission of Chairman Sir, can I, sir, request Dean Agriculture Dean
Just
Research of
wait
OUVT
for
for
a
his
minute.
intervention, sir?
Just wait for a minute.
Sir,
From my side, I welcome all the speakers, and particularly all the participants and the speakers from different states like Chhattisgarh, Bihar, and all the states. Thank you very much. I request you for one thing, that you please stick to your time. If it is time is crossing, I won't mind to show my hand so that you please stop your presentation, because let us not take encroach upon the time of others. And surely 15 minutes we are kept for discussion, open discussion. That we won't compromise. So I request all the speakers to kindly stick to their time. Thank you very much. We'll start.
thank you, sir. Thank you for kind ruling, sir, for saving the precious time of the WhatsApp. May I request Dr. Simanchal Sahuji, Dean of Research, OET, for his kind presentation, sir?
Sir, good morning, sir. Sir, I want to share some slides, sir. Can I share?
5 minutes. Please share 5 minutes only.
Sir, is it visible, sir?
Yeah. Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Respected Chairman, Honorable Vice Chancellor, OUVT, and dignitaries present on this virtual platform, I will be discussing few slides on research, technological, and farm mechanization and intervention in crop diversification. Sir, one of the objectives of crop diversification is to give a wider choice in the production of various crops in a given area, so that we can have two things. We can expand the production related activities and also reduce the risk of crop failure. Another important objective is that we can take selective new crops or new cropping systems also, so that the farmer's income can be increased. And the selection of the new crops, it largely depends upon the growing period, the length of the growing period in a particular area. And this length of the growing period is calculated as the length of the rainy season plus period for which the stored soil moisture meets the crop water needs after cessation of the rain. suppose this length of the period, growing period is less than 75 days, we can go for short duration pulses. If it is 75 to 140 days, we can go for monocropping of paddy or other crops. If it is 140 to 180 days, we can go for intercropping of many crops like maize with cowpea or maize with runner bean, maize with cluster bean, or maize with pigeon pea. If it is more than 100 days, we can also think of double cropping, even relay cropping. In relay cropping, we can have rice lathyrus, rice black gram, rice lentil. These things we can have. We have in our state so many diversity with respect to the land situations and agroclimatic conditions. We have 10 agroclimatic zones in our state. We have plenty of rainfall. So we can select suitable cropping systems for the rain-fed areas. In upland, we can have maize mustard, maize Niger, maize urd bean, and finger millet horse gram. This type of cropping systems we can have. In medium land, paddy pulse or paddy groundnut, paddy mustards, paddy sunflower, paddy linseed, like this we can have. But in low land, paddy green gram or black gram lentil, or paddy with linseed or a safflower. You can have dhancha also, followed by paddy, then green gram. So mainly in case of uplands, when we diversify from paddy to non-paddy, like finger millet and maize, then we get another objective, that we are entering into cultivating nutritionally rich crops also, and which will combat the malnutrition. And for coastal Odisha, we have identified some cropping systems. We are recommending for rice, potato, okra, but mostly it is followed rice, groundnut, okra. So as per our recommendation, this will give a good profit of production profit of 30%, and it will also enhance the income by 46% than the control one. If we go for rice, sweet corn, bitter gourd, the productivity enhance, there will be 14% enhancement in productivity and about 74% enhancement in income also. I have collected some strategy into agroclimatic zones of Odisha. One is the crop diversion strategy for northeastern coastal plain zone of Odisha. So in this zone, mainly there are 4 districts: Bhadrak, Baleshwar, Jaspur, and a part of Keonjhar is there. So we have many low-lying waterlogged areas in this zone, and the principal crop is rice, which covers about 80% of the gross cropped area. So the suggested crop diversification are, for upland we can have maize, arhar, black gram, and vegetables. In medium land we can have sugarcane, jute, and taro. In lowland situation we can go for water chestnut. Similarly, for another climatic condition also, we can have this mid-central tableland zone, which covers to district Dekanal and Angul, where we have largely upland area 55% and paddy area also more than 1 lakh hectare. There we are suggesting crops for diversification. Field crops we can have green gram, black gram, horse gram, sesame, and groundnut. Similarly, some fruit crops can also be grown, mango and cashew. Some vegetables like tomato, brinjal, and chili can also be taken as alternative crops. And for any diversification program, we also need some good varieties to fit to different situations, to fit to various cropping sequences. So in this case, if we focus development of a wide range of crop varieties and their introduction to diversification, that will lead to enhancement in productivity, quality, besides building up crop resilience to biotic and abiotic stresses also. So in OUAT, we have developed some varieties newly, recently, 2021 only. We have developed about 12 varieties in different crops. And I have here given some promising varieties with short durations. Kalingadhan 1204. This is suitable for aerobic as well as irrigated medium land condition. It has excellent cooking quality with medium slender grains. And the Kalingadhan 1205, this is also suitable for rain-fed and irrigated medium land condition with excellent cooking quality. Then coming to groundnut, Kalinga groundnut 101, it's very much suitable for both the Kharif and the Rabi seasons, and it has tolerance to leaf spot, rust, and drought. It is a dual purpose variety suitable for food and fodder. Then in sesamum, we released one variety, Kalinga sesamum 3-1, and its duration is 85 days. And this is suitable for rain-fed coastal ecosystem during Kharif season. And it is also having some biotic stress tolerance like stem rot, root rot, and powder mildew.
Can you be brief? You have to complete in 1 minute or 1.5 minutes maximum.
Okay, sir. Similarly, in little millet, we have Kalinga Suma 217 and some potato varieties, Kufri Lima, Kufri Nilakant, Kufri Ganga. These are very much suitable for our state. And we can also enter into commercial floriculture also. So in this marigold is a very good crop for Odisha, and the suitable varieties are Bidhan, marigold, then Arka, Agni. Similarly, in chrysanthemum also we have identified some varieties like Arka Chandrika, Vidhan Madhuri, and Vidhan Jayanti. Similarly, Zerbera is also one important crop where we can think of in our state. Similarly, farm mechanization comes into picture. We have developed some machineries in OU80. One is OU80 Ragi Thresher cum Purler, which is successful intervention in Odisha Millet Mission. We have OU80 Little Millet Thresher cum Cleaner also. It is a very good machine for little millet. Then we have Bullock Drum 4-row seed drill for millets. It is suitable for many millet crops like finger millet, little millet, ball millet. And we have Bullock Drum 5-row seed drill also, seed cum fertilizer drill, very much suitable for small to bold seeds. We can have paddy, groundnut, and maize sowing with this. We have one drying machine that is a mobile reversible dryer, and this is also very useful for drying. And mini vegetable oil refining unit also we have developed. And this is a very good machine and used in for refining of sunflower oil to remove the gum and moisture to improve the shelf life. We can have some entrepreneurship also in diversification. We can have mushroom cultivation. We have developed 2 strains in OU80, OSM 11 and OSM 12. And these are very much suitable for commercial cultivation during summer and rainy season. We can also go for apiary. In apiary also, we can have around 4,000 rupees per box per annum. So if a farmer can manage 100, then he can get 4 lakh rupees. So this is this helps in income generation also. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. We'll go for Dr. Pramila, Director Atma.
Yes, sir.
Respected dignitaries, good morning to all, sir. I feel privileged and honored to present the workshop on diversification of crops before all of you. I am Pramila, Director Atma, representing behalf of AP government, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, very much, madam.
Yeah. We prepared 5 or 6 slides, sir. The topic that I am going to present today is diversification of crops, sir. First slide is annual rainfall in Andhra Pradesh, sir. Average rainfall from north coastal areas like Srikakulam, Vizianagaram, and Visakhapatnam is very high, sir. That is 1450 mm, and minimum rainfall that is in Rayalaseema areas is very less, sir. 458 mm average, sir. Net area sown and irrigated areas. Net sown area 67.19 lakh hectares, sir. Net irrigated area 28.08 lakh hectares, sir.
Excuse me, your slides are not
Is there any
visible.
slide? It's not visible.
Please start from beginning.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Next, first slide is the annual rainfall, sir. Annual rainfall is the average rainfall from north coastal area to Rayalaseema, sir. Minimum rainfall is 458 mm in Rayalaseema, sir. maximum rainfall, that is coastal, north coastal areas, 1450 mm, sir. Next, net area zone and net irrigated areas. Net area zone 67.19 lakh hectares, sir. Net irrigated area.
Excuse me, madam. Again, the same problems. Okay, now slide is coming. Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Average rainfall from north coastal is Rayalaseema, less, and maximum rainfall north coastal area, that is 1450 rainfall, sir. Next, net area zone. Next, please. Net area zone 67.19 lakh hectares, and net area irrigated area is 28.08. Major crop diversifications. Shifting from agricultural crops to horticulture, orchards in 5 districts, sir. That is Anantapur, Prakasham, West Godavari, Vijayanagaram, and Vizag, sir. Agricultural crops like tobacco, groundnut, maize, etc. may be shifted into the horticulture crops like mango, banana, papaya, oil palm, and cashew, sir. Next, sir, after recommendation for crop diversification, sir. Next slide, sir. Popularization of newly released improved varieties, crop diversification in rainfed areas and area cultivated paddy under borewells and tubewells, crop planning based on market requirement, plan to bring the fallow land 8.85 lakh hectares into cultivation with suitable crops in phased manner, sir. Rice cropping systems, introduction of ID crops during Rabi season like millets, pulses, and oilseeds. Next, forest and horticulture plantation need to be encouraged in dry areas like Anantapur district, sir. Efforts must be put for improving mechanization in small farmers and marginal farmers, 85% holding, sir. Paddy area under borewells and tubewells and river belts, 4.51 lakh hectares, can be diversified with the pulses and oilseeds, millets, maize, and in the phased manner, sir. District-wise area targeted for, next slide, sir. District-wise area targeted for crop diversification during Rabi 2021-22. Total paddy area cultivated under borewells, tubewells in 2021, sir, 4.51 lakh hectares, sir. In Rabi 2021-22, district-wise area targeted on pilot basis, crop diversification is 12,300 hectares, sir. In Rabi 2021-22, crops covered millets in 60 hectares, pulses 7,600 hectares, oilseeds is 4,640 hectares, sir. Cluster demos organizers, sir, 20 at the rate of 20 hectare per each cluster, sir. Pulses 380, millets 3, and oilseeds 232, sir. Distribution of pulses and millet processing units also there, sir. Financial assistance 475 lakhs, sir, at the rate of 1.25 lakh subsidy per unit, sir. Distribution of sprinkler units, sir, under Prime Minister Krishi Sinchai Yojana. Total financial assistance is 1845 lakhs, sir, at the rate of 15,000 per unit or 40,000 of the total cost, whichever is less, sir, we are following. Next slide, sir. Next slide. Common policy interventions for crop diversification, sir. Incentives and bonus should be proposed for newly introduced crops. Then only farmer will prefer, sir. Processing and valuation for millets, sir. And processing units to be established at each Raitu Bharosa Kendra per village, sir, for more beneficial to farming community, sir. And to create cold storage or go down facilities at RBKs, village level, mandal level, sir. It will be facilitate to marketing, sir. Minimum support price MSP and providing market linkages, sir. Promoting one district, one product, and one crop for easy procurement of the produce, sir. Efforts for declaration of tribal areas as organic hub, since tribal farmers are following organic practices till date, sir. And next, farm machinery agriculture profile in Andhra Pradesh. Profile of AP, sir. Net zone area 67.19 lakh hectares. Number of land holdings 48 lakhs. Contributes to 19% of the total GDP and provides employment support 62% of the total population. Livelihood support 60% of the population, sir. Mechanization only 30 to 33%, sir. Constraints in farming, sir. Drastic reduction in animal power, sir. Inadequate availability of farm power and machinery, sir. Timely operations, high cost of operations, fragmentation of land holdings, and unexpected vagaries in weather conditions, insufficient irrigation facilities, lack of institutional financing, sir, lack of farm machinery manufacturing industry, sir. Next slide, sir. Major crops grown in Andhra Pradesh, sir. Paddy.
Madam, can you complete in a minute? You have taken
Yeah.
full time.
Paddy, cotton, pulses, and millets, sir. Sowing to harvesting implements to be received, sir. Next, in a nutshell, I would like to conclude my presentation by articulating some important points regarding farm mechanization, that is policy interventions and capacity building interventions for development of farm mechanization, sir. Establishment of custom hiring centers based on crop and potential clusters, sir. Initiation of high capacity stationary paddy dryers, sir. And establishment of farm machinery training centers to train rural youth on operation and maintenance, sir. Special training camps to rural women on mechanization, especially for tribal women, sir. Community quotas for small and marginal farmers, sir. Incentives to the farmers through mechanization service providers, sir. The allocation of funds for the development of new machines, low-cost machines through reverse engineering, sir. Capacity building interventions with training to extension staff, line department officials about improved machinery and farm mechanization, sir. Tailor-made training courses to rural youth and village artisans in operation and maintenance of farm machinery for creating self-employment, sir. Mass campaign on different farm mechanization schemes and improved machinery by university and development, sir. I heartfully thank each one of the officers who have attended this program, since this type of convergence meeting is the first of its kind, sir. Thanks to Odisha government for encouraging and bringing forward such type of innovative programs for 6 states, which are useful for both officials and farming communities, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam. Thank you so much for your brief presentation and nice presentation. I request Engineer Jayaprakash Narayanji, please kindly make your presentation. Try to be in 5 minutes.
Thank you, sir. Honorable Chairman and Vice Chancellor, other dignitaries. I'm going to present a very short PPT presentation here on crop diversification. Next, please. Next slide, please. In Bihar, the general cropping pattern is paddy, wheat. We are switching to maize and vegetable. You can see the maize productivity of maize is much higher than paddy and wheat. And the agroclimatic conditions of Bihar is also suitable for maize nowadays. We are receiving less rainfalls in past few years. And vegetable, in the field of vegetable, our farmers are very keen to do that. So we are switching to vegetables and maize crops. There are much potential in the pulse sector also, but there are some challenges in growing pulses. We'll discuss later. Next, please. Next slide, please. Sorry. Previous slide, sir. Excuse me. Previous slide. This is the farm power availability graph. Farm power availability in 2009 and 10, it was 1.23 kilowatt per hectare. Consistently, it is scaling up to 2021. It has come up to 3.04 kilowatt per hectare. So farmers are using a lot of machineries in the crop production. In next slide, we will see the different sectors of farm mechanization. Next slide, please. Here you can see the rotavator. Rotavator is a very high number of rotavators farmers purchased under the subsidy schemes. But the seed drill is very few in comparison to the rotavator. It should have been very close to the rotavator. It means farmers are fully mechanized. Our fields are fully mechanized in cultivation, with land preparation. But in seed drill or planting or seeding, we are not using so much machines. It's very clear from here. Other sector is processing of the produce. That is, you can see the rice mill, the lowest one, last one, rice mill. The figure is very low. So these area we are focusing to improve the number of seed drills to farmers to have the seed drills and use the line sowing. So Pankti Mein Shakti, this scheme we are implementing here, and for processing, for value addition, we are also striving here, and farmers are now very interested in these fields. So in coming few years, the situation will change. Next, please. Development of multi-crop seeder with auto depth control. This machine is being developed in this Dr. Rajendra Prasad Central Agriculture University, Pusa, Samastipur, in this state. It's a very good machine, though it has not been finally made to be available to the market. But I have seen this machine. There is no need to no need to calibrate the machine, and can do effective seeding in moderately undulated field due to automatic depth control mechanism. And it's very much effective in direct seeding of paddy and line seeding of wheat and pulses. So this machine, I think this machine will be very, very suitable for our farmers. Well, the field of the farmers are not leveled properly. Some undulations are there. So for that type of fields, this machine will be very useful. And it's multi-crop seeder. So all type of crops we can sow by these machines. Rice, wheat, mustard, etc. Next, please.
Can you complete in a minute or so?
Just completing, sir. This is very small machine, development of hand tool of okra harvester. This is a light machine. It cuts fruits without touching the fruit, and it reduces the drudgery and inconvenience to workers against itching. Next, please. A development of pulse harvester for lentil and gram crops is the need of the country. Our very large area of our cultivable area is under lentil crop, but due to this problem, harvesting lack of the machine of harvesting, farmers are not very satisfied with this crop, and they are switching to other field, other crops. So we have to think over this, and our universities are trying to develop machines for harvesting of this machine. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Engineer Jayaprakash Narayanji. Thank you being very brief also. I request Dr. Rajesh Kumar Naik from Chhattisgarh to kindly make a presentation. I request you again, try to be around 5 minutes.
Okay, sir. Good morning to all. Kindly share my slide, please. Today, I discuss about the mechanization for the crop diversification in Chhattisgarh. Next slide, please. Next. Chhattisgarh is also called as a rice bowl of central India. It is mainly, the main crop is rice, and 80% of population of Chhattisgarh belongs to the agriculture community, and they depends on the agriculture based industry and all these things. Next. Next slide, please. These are some issues for development of the agriculture in Chhattisgarh, out of which promoting farm mechanization for the diversification is essential. Second thing, the intercropping, many parts which wherever we have upland rice, these lands are suitable for pulses and oilseeds, so we can divert these crops to the oilseed and pulses as well as maize. And also intercropping in the arhar, moong, urd, which traditionally grown minor millet in North Hill area and Bastar area. And quality seed production and distributions are also major interventions for the diversification. Next, please. Next. So I actually, these are some points, major mechanization gap in Chhattisgarh. Actually, farmers have few only equipments with them, only cultivator, tractor trolley and cage wheel are with every farmer who have tractors. No other machines are so popular till now except rotavator and paddy combine harvester, which are on custom hiring basis they are using. These are the main due to the power availability of the Chhattisgarh state is only 1.13, whereas in national it is 1.4. So to increase the farm mechanization level, we have to increase the mechanization status of the Chhattisgarh also. Next. Next. So these are some common interventions we have done in our research. The first one is the use of zero-till seed drill for proper utilization of the soil moisture in time. So if we increase this type of machine in our field, then it will be definitely increase the crop diversification. Second one is the broad weight furrow planter for soybean. This case, actually Chhattisgarh is the heavy rainfall area, so the crop is damaged due to heavy rain. So if we go for this broad weight type of furrow planter, then it will increase our crop area and divert from the rice to soybean. Next. Next, please. Use of inclined plate planter for multi-crop seed drill, in which the first type of the whatever I have shown in first figure, the company supplied 42 type of metering mechanism from small seed to the larger seed. So we can go by one seed drill from mustard to big seed like maize. So no problem with this seed drill. And the second one is the national seed drill, which have given 3 type of plant plates, low size, medium size, and bigger size seed drill. As well as we have make this lower one animal trunks multi-crop planter seed drill, in which we can divert the farmers from actually we facilitate them from paddy. Next. So these are another type of interventions we have done in our research, that promotion of the intercrop seed drill, in which the box are separated from each other, and the planting metering mechanism is the rotor type, vertical rotor, so that we can make intercrop system in the traditional seed drill. Next. This is another interventions, whatever we have done in our university, that tractor operated multi-crop planter for intercropping. In this type of seed drill, the side, please, previous one, please. In first season in Kharif, we plant the soybean in between 2 rows of arhar, and after harvesting of the soybean, we go for the chickpea in the same place with the same tractor, removing the side 2 systems. Next. So to reduce the residue management machinery, also reduce the time of field preparation, like happy seed drill, mulcher, all these things, so that we can use the residual moisture, as well as we can go for the second crop. Next. Next. Promotion of maize mechanization. Actually, maize is one of the major crops which are adopted by the farmers after rice. If we just convert the area of the rice to the maize, then the diversion can be possible. For that, we go for the maize mechanization techniques like maize reach planter, maize cob harvester, maize thresher, maize seller, maize dehusker. All these are already implemented in our state, and it will increase the area of the maize. And now government have procured with MSP the maize crop. So again, 2 or 3 industries are also here for the manufacturing of
Can I request you to kindly complete in a minute or so?
Okay, sir. Okay. Next, please. Next. So these are the some points Please. Establishment of farm machinery bank for custom hiring, increasing the number of custom hiring centers, increasing the number of non-traditional machines in those centers, and package of machinery from tillage to processing should be increased in CSC centers. Subsidy in new machines should be provided by the government. Provide the financial assistance on per hectare basis to beneficiaries hiring of machinery and equipments for custom hiring centers in low mechanized area. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much for. I know that you people have a lot of things to talk, but I am constrained by the time, so I am reminding you people. I am sorry for that, but thank you very much for being in time. I request Sri Mukesh Kumar Sinha, DDA Jharkhand, to kindly make his presentation. Mr. Sinha, please. May I request Sri Mukesh Kumar Sinha ji from Jharkhand?
Next.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, you are
Yes, sir.
from Jharkhand. Okay, please.
Yes, sir. Sir. Jharkhand is having monocrop area. We are having paddy crops mainly in Kharif season, sir. And we are having crops in Rabi, but the crop intensity is nearly 135%, 30%, sir. Sir, in Jharkhand, mainly the rainfall, monsoon. So monsoon comes late. Onset of monsoon comes late, and there is an early withdrawal of the monsoon also. There is also a irregular rain, sir. So there is frequent scope of drought here, sir. Based on this, sir, we have planned, sir, crop diversification, sir, and we are using the area of paddy crops, which is uplands and medium lands, part of medium lands, to pulses and wild seeds, sir. Sir, if you compare from last 10 years, sir, pulses from 2011-12 to 2020-21, sir, we have increased pulses of area from 5.38 lakh hectare to 8.63 lakh hectare, and for wild seeds, sir, 2.63 lakh hectare to 5.154 lakh hectare. So we are converting, we are reducing the paddy area and increasing the pulses and wild seed area with crop diversification, sir. In Jharkhand, sir, since the monsoon is late, so transplanting of paddy is being late. Due to late transplanting of paddy, sir, the harvesting of paddy is also late. So next is in Rabi crop, where we take wheats or pulses, sir, it is delayed. So to reduce the delaying of the wheat crops, Rabi crops, sir, we are using zero-till seed drill. For mechanization, sir, we are using zero-till seed drill, so that due to late harvesting of rice, the time taken for sowing of next wheat crop, we are minimizing the time, the gap, by using the zero-till seed drill here, so that wheat crop can be also taken under the zero tillage, and the yield of wheat is we get good result from the zero tillage machine, sir, in wheat crop and pulses and wild seed crops, sir. In Jharkhand, sir, we are the problem is of topography and irrigation, sir. We are using a mini tractor here because the land is topography of land is very undulating and small holdings are there. So we have used mini tractors here for the I mean crop production, sir. So it is very useful mini tractor. We are also using, sir, solar-based deep boring system because irrigation is also a problem in Jharkhand, sir. So we are using solar-based deep boring system and also drip and sprinkler irrigation system, so that the irrigation per drop more crop with drip irrigation and sprinkler irrigation, we can use irrigation in the field and crop production can be better. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for being very precise and saving some time for others. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank
May I
you. Thank you.
request representative from West Bengal, please?
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah, audible. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I am Dr. S.K. Mukhopadhyay, professor in agronomy of Bidhan Chandra Krishi Vishwavidyalaya. I would like to share some of my some research findings regarding crop diversification in West Bengal. Sir, I am sharing my presentation. I have prepared it very lately, so that I could not say it. Sir, is it visible now?
Yeah, it is visible. Please keep within 5 minutes.
Okay, sir. So, respected chairman of this session, respected eminent dignitaries, officers, scientists, my friends and colleagues, and ladies and gentlemen. Sir, actually, crop diversification started in West Bengal since 1983-84, and after when the cereal crop production actually started showing signs of stagnation or yield plateauing. And crop diversification in West Bengal has taken place largely in favor of boro rice, potatoes, and oilseeds, and sometimes sacrificing the areas of pulses also. Dr. Kumar and Chattopadhyay in the year 2018 reported that the farmers in DBC comment area during the 80s grow only a few crops around the year. During monsoon, they cultivate almond paddy, followed by potato or mustard in Rabi season, and thereafter boro paddy or season in summer. And about 66% of the area is usually covered by almond and boro paddy, while another 29% is used for the cultivation of potato, mustard, and sesame. Thus, these crops accounts for around 95% of the gross crop area. And since late 90s, the horticultural crops like vegetables, fruits, flowers actually started gaining ground. And the diversification seems to have taken place in favor of these high value crops, or the crops which seem to provide higher income, higher return to the cultivators. And the spur in the pace and extent of diversification in West Bengal seems to have taken place since 1995-96. And it seems that the higher level of demand for high value crops as well as the higher cash requirements of the farmers to satisfy their family needs led to this higher diversification, and with the advancement of the irrigated area, this actually happened higher crop diversifications. Actually, Mithia et al. 2018, they have categorized the districts of the West Bengal in terms of crop diversification, and he used actually Simpson's cropping index, crop diversity index, and he showed that actually during 1990-93 sub period to 2010-13 sub period, actually crop diversification increased in almost all districts in West Bengal, and he actually categorized the districts of West Bengal in excellent diversified zone, high, moderate, and low. And he showed that Nadia and Murshidabad actually belongs to excellent diversified zone, more than 0.82, because of the adoption of non-food, non-value crop to high value crops, and also non-food crop to other food crops like vegetables, fruits, flowers, maize crops also there. And they categorized Malda, Kuchbihar, Hooghly, Darjeeling, West Dinajpur, North 24 and Jalpaiguri, the high crop diversity zone, because of the adoption and shifting from the food crop to other value-based crop, and particularly maize, particularly potato, and plantation crops with spices and mushroom. And actually, Bardwan and some Birbhum and 20 Midnapur, West Midnapur, and excepting Purulia, actually belong to moderate diversified zone, because mostly farmers are sticking to their rice system or cereal system of cropping system. So that's why actually, and they also, Dasut and Bhumik also showed that crop diversification is largely occurred and is highest in case of small and marginal farmers, as compared to other categories of farmers, because the small and marginal farmers, in order to mitigate risks, spread out their cultivated area among a number of food, non-food crops, grain crops, including vegetables, but at the same time, they do not trade with their food security. In order to lift the moderate zone districts, that is Barwan, Birbhum, Pakuda, West Midnapur, government actually launched a new developmental scheme called Market 60 for the western district of Bankura, Purulia, Birbhum, Jhargram, Paschim Bardhaman, and Paschim Medinipur. And this scheme consists commercially exploiting the fallow land in these 6 districts through horticulture, particularly fruit crops, through fishery and promotion of animal husbandry. And these would lead to additional generation of income and more crop diversification, which would be great help to the farmers in dry areas, dry regions. And Market History actually envisages making 50,000 acres of fallow land commercially successful, and through it.
Dr. Mukhopadhyay, can you try to complete in a minute or so?
Okay, to benefits to bring about 2.5 lakh people of this zone. So in conclusion, I would like to say that crop diversity in West Bengal not only an emerging reality, it is expanding very fast, and farming community of all size classes have started to shift their system to more income generating systems. And crop diversification index clearly showed that small and marginal farmers have more tendency to diversify their cropping systems. And it is established that diversification towards the non-food crops is possible following the expansion of irrigation facilities, particularly minor mitigation and micro irrigation schemes. Allocation of funds by the government for expansion of irrigation schemes, along with infrastructural development and ensuring easy access to credit to the marginal and more farmers will definitely help to realize the benefits of higher diversification and raise their income levels further. Thank you, sir, for giving me the opportunity to share my views.
Thank you so much. Now we have 10 minutes for open discussion instead of 15 minutes. I request all the participants, anybody want to make any observation, questions, or experiences, but everything should be limited to not more than 30-40 seconds so that we take at least 8 to 10 people for their observations. So I welcome everybody, speakers, participant, everybody, but be precise for your observation. Welcome.
Sir, we have received 2 requests, sir. Nagendra Kumar Malik and Malaya from Vasan in chat box to join this, sir, if you kindly permit them, sir.
Yeah, everybody, including them, are welcome, but nobody should give a lecture. It is only 30-40 seconds. Somebody can make an observation or put a question. We'll take at least 8 to 10 people in 10 minutes.
Hello. Good morning,
Yeah,
everyone.
please go ahead.
Yes, I am Malay Srivastava. I am from Vasan and I have been working since 2 years in the location of Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, and Madhya Pradesh region. I have seen that there are lots of in crop diversification. I have seen that the small and marginal farmer is working in Navdhanya cropping system. The Navdhanya cropping system is that ki in a small patch of means taking less than 1 acre of land, they are using different 9 types of crops, and for that.
This is a well-established procedure. You want to make a point, and we have noted down. Can you have any other point? Please tell, or we'll go to other speakers or other observations.
Okay, there's 2 suggestions from my side.
Yeah.
The suggestion is that one is that we are focusing on the promotion and development of small scale farm mechanization as per the farmers' need and demand. And the second thing is promotion of small scale custom hiring center in the rural area, especially in remote area.
Okay,
So
yeah, fine. Both the points we noted down. Fine. Any other person? Yeah.
Sir.
Yeah, please.
Sir, Dr. Man Singh speaking. Sir,
Yeah,
I want to know from Professor Simanchal Sahu, who is also my classmate, that in Odisha state, during, if we see last 10 years, the Kharif rice area is almost stagnating between 36 to 38 lakhs, whereas the Rabi rice area is slightly increasing. So, and this is the situation of last 10 years. So, what could be the strategy for diversification of this paddy crop in Odisha? practical.
Dr. Sahu, can you answer, please? Dr. Sahu. Okay, Dr. Sahu, when you come, will you go for next call? Observation by somebody else?
Sir?
Dr. Sahu.
Myself, Dr. Ashutosh Sarkar from UBKB. I have one query for the OUAT participant. That is, what type of mushroom they are going? What type of mushroom they are going?
Oh, very good. Dr. Sahu
Hello,
would
sir.
like to, or
Sir.
Dr. Sonagi also can give info. He is a moderator. He's the right person also can tell about those things.
Sir, I think Dr. Sahu has joined, sir.
Sir.
Dr. Sahu, please answer.
Sir, in mushroom, actually, we have developed one black type and one gray type mushroom. That is two strains, OSM 11 and OSM 12.
Is it oyster mushroom or button mushroom?
Padistra mushroom, sir.
It's Padistra mushroom.
Padistra mushroom. Okay, thank you.
And one more question, Dr. Sahu, for you has come from our director from Patna, that your Kharif price area is not increasing significantly last 10 years, but Rabi is increasing. Would like to make any observation for that?
Sir, actually, this may be due to exactly, sir, I cannot say the reason, but what I assume it is because of the problem in procurement. So
let me add one or two sentences probably. Last 50 years, if you see Odisha agriculture has diversified 10% of area from rice to non-rice, but still the production of rice is stable or increased. And again, we have a lot of scope to diversify. And last couple of years, we could diversify a lot of crops to vegetable, some to fruits, and we are trying our effort to make to millet and maize. So things are changing. So another few years, we believe that we should be able to diversify 10% more, and still we will be able to protect our rice production and productivity to suffice the requirement of Odisha. That is the way we are planning for the state. Next question, any question or any observation by somebody? Or we can discuss personally also, but since we have another 5 minutes, I'd like to see 3-4 people to talk.
So, good morning to everybody. This is Nagendra Kumar Malik. So I was going to all the discussions throughout this phase of session. So my point of assessment is that I could not get in point from the participating state whether the crop diversity is a matter of principle or the government policy or a climate induced. Because crop diversification is very come of the hour.
Oh, got the question. Any speaker like to make observation? I request any speaker. If somebody want to make any observation. Probably the anybody. I mean, even Dr. Mansingh sir want to make observation. You can.
It is very obvious that crop diversification is a policy of Government of India. This is because so many schemes is being implemented, and our Prime Minister also highlighted the importance of this. Our agriculture ministers have also. So even now we are pushing pulses, oil seeds, so many things. This is the part of crop diversification only.
We'll take two more observation or question. Anybody like to put anything? Then we'll wind up the program.
Sir, I have one observation.
Yeah.
Thing is that when we are using combined paddy harvester, the long staffs are remaining in field, and as a consequence, people are burning it. So that's a problem in case of managing that type of things while we are using the combined harvester. So
I would have loved to discuss a lot about this aspect. It is a very important aspect, but I'm not going to answer anything. Any speaker like to talk, particularly Chhattisgarh or some?
In that case, we have made one device that is top seeding. top seeding, in that case, we are spreading the, the seeds over it and let it to grow, and then that is being used as a mulch.
So what
For
we'll
past
do?
crops, lentil.
Yeah, good observation.
We have devised that.
Either the department side or OUT side will make a repository from all the speakers whoever want to share either a slide or anything, and anybody wants we can share from one person to other persons. So if you have some experience, you give us and we'll share it to somebody. We'll find a way to share it. No issue.
Okay, sir.
A last question or last observation that will wind up. This will be last take any observation or any question from anybody.
Nice, sir.
Sir, namaste, sir.
Namaskar. Namaskar, madam.
Actually, I am from Pragati NGO. So we are also promoting a model in crop diversification. We call it a half-acre model. So it has a diversified crop system. And I have one question, like it is especially when we are talking of small and marginal farmers, can we integrate like fishery, livestock, or mushroom?
Surely,
So that
madam,
will be
surely you should.
that will
Madam,
highly
surely
support farmers.
I won't elaborate for discussion because time is
Sure, sir.
constrained.
Okay, sir.
Surely you should integrate everything. Government of Odisha policy, Government of India policy support it, and that is why self-help group, marketing, FPO play a very big role. Very small.
Sir, one more, sir, suggestion, that is like when we are talking of custom hiring center, can we support the IPOs for this? That will be a
It's already there.
Yes.
Government of Odisha Krishi Samruddhi policy and Government of India FPO policy both support a lot related to all these aspects. So
Sir,
I'm
thank
sure
you.
I'm having a constraint. I'm being a chair. I'm having a time constraint. So I'm not
Thank you,
going
sir.
to
Thank you, sir.
further elaborate or allow discussion further. I
Sir.
profusely thank all the speakers and all the participants and all the question, answer, and observation discussion, everybody. Now I hand over to Dr. Sonaji, moderator, to wind up, to close down the program. I thank you, everybody, including organizer, the speakers, the participants, everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for efficiently and timely handling the things with your kind ruling and kind gesture, sir. You stick to the time, and that's why a one-day program can only be successful like this. Otherwise, it would be very difficult, sir. I profusely thank you from my own behalf and on behalf of my organizers, sir. I also thank all the panelists, those who have put their share in this particular session. And without taking much of time, I beg to stop over here with a small piece of video yet again for the changeover to the next technical session. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
So good morning, one and all. Let me once again welcome all the participants to this regional thematic workshop on diversification of crops being organized in virtual mode. Now we are entering into the technical session 2. The session theme will be role of horticulture in crop diversification. The session will be chaired by Sri Rohit Kumar Lenkaji, Director of Horticulture, Government of Odisha. In this session of 50 minutes, we have 6 panelists from the state of Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, and West Bengal. At the end of the session, we have 15 minutes for open discussion. May I request all the participants from all the states to raise their hand or put questions in the chat box so that we can have an open discussion at the end of the session. Let me now request Sri Rohit Kumar Lenkaji to chair the session, please.
Okay, thank you. Just before entering into our the second session, so I would request all the panelists just to focus on 2 basic areas. We need not to go into details like importance of horticulture for crop diversification, but basically we'll be looking at the challenges in horticulture sectors we face for with regard to diversification. Then number 2, we'll be looking at the way we want to address those challenges. So that way, if all the panelists can highlight the issues, then that will